All right, good evening, everybody. Sorry I was a little late there, but had some technical difficulties. Uh, so tonight we're just gonna hang out and do some Bigfoot top topics, whatever you guys want to talk about, wherever it goes. We're gonna have a guest tonight. Man of Light is his channel. His name's Greg. Good guy. Uh, Wanted to get him on for a while, so he's here. I'll bring him on in a minute. Just make sure everything's going right before I pull him up. Don't see any comments yet. I don't know if I'm using StreamYard again, so I don't really remember if I have to do anything in particular here. Nope, there you are, my love. All right, good way to start off. So, all right, so it's working. Okay, so, um, yeah, really no way to, no, not really have any way to direction. I guess I should say no real direction. But we'll pull Man the Light up. We'll have him talk about how he got started and all that good stuff, and then we'll go from there. Um, you know, you guys lead the way. You know how it goes. Scotty B, good to see you, bro. Kai, what's up? Bob. So there was some like feedback before, but I think I fixed it. So it was, I don't know. You guys know my tech savvy skills are like obsolete. All right, let's see. Hang on. Scotty J, what's happening? Shirley Bassett, Virginia. Sounds good now. All right. Well, the problem was when we were both up. So see how it goes. But East Coast, what's up, brother? All right. As you guys roll in, I'm just gonna pull him up and we'll get going. All right. What's up, bro?
Hey, Mark, how you doing, buddy?
I hear it right off the bat again. Hang on. Uh, I can hear that feedback right away again.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what happened all of a sudden. Can you guys hear the echo or no?
I don't hear an echo now. When
You
I'm
don't hear it?
talking, no. Before it was really, really bad, but now it's okay. Are you getting feedback on your end?
Yeah, I can't even understand what you're saying personally, but that's all right. So it don't matter. They don't hear it. So no echo, no echo. Okay, all right. So it's gonna be a little difficult to make out what you're saying, but we'll just go with it. All right. All right. So anyway, so welcome, Man of Light. Good to see you. Finally got you here.
Nice here. Thank you.
Oh, it's gone. Good. Okay, it's gone. So if you want to get started, um, like what got you into all this and when and whatever, like it's a free, like we were talking about earlier, free flowing. I'm not, not really interviews. So whatever you want to talk about, feel free, and whatever you don't want to, that's cool too.
Okay, sounds good. Um, I guess a lot of people probably ask you, and I know they've asked me, what made me get involved in finding Bigfoot. Um, Years ago, I used to hunt, and I'd always hear these sounds, but I never seen anything. Eerie sounds like 5 o'clock in the morning, and then when everything was getting getting ready to get out of the woods, you can hear stuff walking around. I never seen it, and I knew it wasn't like deer or anything like that. It was a big difference in the way it was a heavy walk, and you could smell things as you walked out to get back to the truck, and there was no deer around. So I just like brushed it off, no big deal. Then I started seeing things like the trees being broken here and there, and just things weren't right. I used to have a real eerie feeling, like the hair on the back of my neck, especially in a couple areas where I used to go all the time.
Yeah.
Then I was doing a lot of paranormal work back then as well.
Oh, okay.
And I've seen things that I've taken pictures of in that field that really was like blowing my mind, because I said, what's this all about? and I couldn't make heads or tails of it, but I said to myself, you know what, I'm going to find out what it's about. And that's what I've been doing. And with the Bigfoot research I've been doing, I'm like you, Mike, boots on the ground, man. I'm out there 3, 4, sometimes 5 days a week.
Yep.
And I enjoy it, but again, I'm by myself. I have nobody with me to do anything with, and it does get a little hairy at times. But when you see things, and I've had things in front of me that I take a picture of, and you look back there and they're gone. I mean, they just like disappeared in the thin air. So that kind of, you're looking at something that's probably like 9 foot tall or even bigger than that.
Mm-hmm.
And what could they do to you if they really wanted to,
Yeah.
And I remember back in January, I was in this one area. There was a river and a pond that were adjacent to the swamp area where I was, wanted to go. And I had two of my cameras out there, and I had an audio recorder I put out. Plus, I brought some apples and stuff too, just to put out there. So what I'd done, I put the one camera near the swamp area there, and I figured that's where they're coming out at, because you could see footprints. You could see some footprints in there. So if they come out of the swamp, you'll be able to get a real close-up shot at them, Then I put one on the opposite side, probably about 70, 80 feet away. And I put the apples and I put some other stuff down there. I figure anything comes out, whether it's a deer or whether it's one of the family members of the Bigfoot, I would get them good. And I have my audio recorder on. So I put it there. I hid my audio recorder, because what I'd done with my audio recorder, I had an old thermos I used to use when I worked. It was about maybe 8 inches long. And what I'd done was drill 2 holes in the end and put a hook on there, like a wire, and I drilled a hole in the opposite end, and I had my recorder inside there, so it's weatherproof, nothing gets to it. And I had the microphone laying inside, but mounted on the outside. When it's hanging up, it's out of the weather as well. So I left it there, and I figured, well, I'll come back tomorrow morning, like 9 o'clock, and I'll see what goes with the cameras and all. So I leave. Next day, I go out there. I go over to my one camera near the swamp, and the thing's still on. So I said, well, still on, must have had some pretty good pictures of things, and I shut down. It was pretty cool. I went over to my audio recorder, opened that up, and it was shut down. 7 minutes and 15 seconds.
It happens fast. Yep.
Yeah.
Happens fast.
What amazed me on that, when I got back, because all brand new batteries, I used the lithium batteries and all my stuff, and it was shut down. So when I left, I said I'd be back tomorrow morning and pick up the stuff, and if you want to talk, whoever's here, talk. And I left, probably maybe a minute into it, I had a recording saying they're going to shut off my audio. They're going to shut down the recorder. They're going to shut down my camera.
Oh, you heard the physical audio say that?
Yeah.
Like you heard, oh, that's
it's like blowing my mind. Like, who's talking to me?
Yeah.
And they said they're going to shut off my camera too. So when I looked at my camera, I only had 13 pictures on the one by the swamp. And you know what pictures were on there? The one of me walking that morning to go pick up the camera. Nothing all night at all. They shut that camera down and turned it on just for me to go get it. and they're playing games, But the other camera on the opposite side had 442 pictures taken, and I seen stuff there. I have pictures of them coming out of the swamp and everything else on that one side. But also on the audio, what they said, if I ever come back, that they would kill me because they thought that I was there playing games with their children and their family, and they didn't want that. They're very protective, as you know, of their family.
Well, I mean, as a paranormal guy too, though. I mean, you know that there's so many different things out there that can, manipulate the audio. Even other cryptids too. You know what I mean? So it's like I've gotten some crazy, negative audio, and like, you know, people have picked it up and said, you got to hear this. Like, you can't go back there. And I'm like, oh, they did audio, and I'm like, I don't even care what they said. I'm going right back. If they're talking, I'm going right back. And that's just me though. Like, I'm like, oh, it's active. Like, okay, like, and I know it sounds stupid, but like it's interesting that's the name you chose. And a couple of guys are asking what your name is, so you could tell them your real name if you'd like. But I tell, like, when I hear negative things, I say, listen, I walk in the light. I walk in the light. Stay in the dark. I walk in the light. Stay in the dark. I walk in the light. And it's just something I say frequently. All right, I have had to.
Yeah, because you know what, there's other entities out there as well, and because I've taken pictures, I've seen things that, believe me, Mike, when I say when I say they're like half human and half animal, these things I take pictures of also. I mean, even like you talk about alien forces, like these Martians and stuff. I've taken pictures back in that area there also with the big eyes and the little chin and the mouth and the nose with a big head on it, and it's like, do I want to be back here type of deal.
Mm.
But getting back to it there, I went back here and I was scared. I wasn't going to go back here anymore. I said, well, you know what? They don't know me, and I'm not going to threaten them. I'm not going to try to do anything to them. I want to make friends with them. I want to learn what they're about. And I told them this.
Yeah.
And they also said that they don't like humans because humans disrespect the beast of the woods, meaning them. Just on a recording, meaning them. I guess in the animals that are there, because humans destroy, they trash places and everything else, and they don't like that. And this was what was told me on my audio, which kind of knocked my socks off because if they're talking to me, I guess they're talking into our language so I can understand them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let me see what my wife was saying. Some of these beings, what people call demons and or negative entities, or sometimes beings, have never even walked the earth. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, a lot of people, when they think aliens too, like, they think aliens right away. A lot of people, and it is including me up until recently. I think UFOs, sky, other universes. And I started to realize, like, what was going on right underneath our feet, like literally, like underground. And I've
Right.
I've seen a lot of stuff crawling around on the ground that people are like, oh, how is that head on the ground? But that's basically what it is. Like, it's kind of coming. They're kind of coming from under there. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not necessarily just a head on the ground, but they got like all these little tunnels, traps, all sorts of stuff. I've seen even the Sasquatch take a bunch of, not seen them do it, but they take a bunch of trees from all over and they pile them up. And, if you really get down into it and look down, you can see that underneath is like, really dug out, like almost like, me and Sarah, my wife, we watched this show. It's called like Alone. And they out in the middle of nowhere and they build these huts and stuff. But it's, it's kind of the same concept, like, but underground, they kind of dig it down. They go down.
Yeah. But it makes, when you're out there, I'm sure you get the I guess you call it the heebie-jeebies. That's what I call it. especially if you go there at nighttime. I like to go early in the morning. You see a lot of action early in the morning or towards the evening time. But this place that I'm at now, which you know about, I don't know if I told you where it's at, but I had to move from my original place. They shut that down on me. So I still have a stealth camera out there. It goes 24/7 back where the shelter was. And that reports back to me. It takes pictures 24/7, and it reports back to me on my cell phone and my computer, so I can see what's going on there. They're very cool things to have, and I want to get maybe a couple more to put into this new place because this new place that I'm at now, it's to me it's phenomenal. It's even better than with the other place I was at before.
All right, that's good. I mean, anywhere near water is good. So if you're saying near like a swamp, you were near like that pond, like all those places, anywhere near water is pretty good. And I mean, um, I heard you say before, like you asked, you said you were leaving it, you asked for, like, and that's the way to do it. Like there's no way to sneak around with these Bigfoot, or I'm assuming everything else too knows we're coming from a mile away at least. So I asked, like, I just say, hey, I'm leaving this here. I'm gonna leave my recorder here or whatever. And like, I don't. I've tried to tell a few people that leave game cameras, and they're like, I never get anything. I never get anything. I said, did you ever ask? Did you ever ask for a little something? Did you ever leave a gift with it? Did you, you know what I mean? Um, it seems to go a long way. And sometimes, look, I get it. Sometimes my stuff turns off in like you said, 7 minutes. I'm lucky if I get 7 minutes. Sometimes it's just I walk away and they cut it off. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
But they don't. They don't want to be heard or seen for whatever reason.
Well, I had one. I don't know if you've seen it on my page that I had, but they were there, and I'm looking at them. No video. They didn't want their picture taken, but I wanted to take a picture of them. They wouldn't let me do the whole being. So what they did went by a tree and put the arm was the shoulder, the leg, and the arm and and the hand is the left side of it. And I took a picture of that. Did you see that? You
Yeah.
remember?
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, yeah. I've seen similar things to like that. They'll tell you they've seen it. The hands coming out of the ground. I mean, I've seen huge fists. Sometimes, like, I mean, that one that you have is the size of a tree for the most part. It was, it was right up next to what was like a tree this big, pretty much. Like, and it was the hands spread out were just as big. The fingers spread out were just as big as that tree next to it. So I mean, that was a big arm, big hand, whatever it was coming from.
Yeah.
And it had some stuff going on around it too and above it. And
But there's a lot of things mixed in with them. Like they're again, people. I mean, yeah. Can you see them? Can you smell them? Can they break things? I've seen them break trees before, running across the road, snapping a tree, just like it was a toothpick. And usually I have my camera when I'm riding down the road in that one particular area. If I didn't have it on, and this thing came from across the one area and ran across right in front of my truck, probably about 150 feet in front of me. So I stopped my truck right away. I looked at it. It never looked back. It just went over there and it was a pine tree. That probably was about 3 inches in diameter. Just snapped it. I mean, snapped it, Mike, about 3 foot off the ground and kept going. So I got out. I'm looking around. I got my video camera now. I put on. I'm walking back here. I looked all around. Took my time looking. Went over to the tree. You can see where it was snapped. Nothing. There wasn't even no tracks. That's what's amazing about it. There was no tracks. And I seen that thing run across the road. And where it came from, I went back over there and looked. And there's trees snapped down. I mean, big ones, like 4 or 5 inches in diameter. Now, think about it. I mean, we're men. We're pretty strong. But even try to get a 1 inch pine tree and try to snap it. We can't do it. So,
yeah,
when I'm out there, I'm constantly trying to be aware of things that are around me. But I want to be friends with them. I'm no match for anything like that. First of all, you're not going to see them. If they want to do anything to you, they're going to get you.
yeah.
I'm
Well,
trying.
occasionally I get the person that says, "Oh, if there was a Bigfoot with there, why didn't you film it longer? Or why didn't you go towards it?" Listen, I mean, my answer is always the same. I get a lot, and I think it's because I don't push it. You know, like I don't I respect them. I respect their space,
Right.
and they come right up next to us. Like if they want to be there, they'll be there. If they want you to see them, they'll let you see them. And I'm gonna let it be on their terms. Like I'm not gonna try and if I can get consistency, I'll take that over like a money shot or whatever you want to call it, or you know what I mean, like or
Yeah.
you know whatever the case is. Um, for me, it's a longevity thing. Like it's like you said, I'd rather friend them. Um, you know, Bubba told me once, like I was sitting there thinking of him talking about getting a new camera. I gotta get a new camera. I gotta get a new camera, and I heard this like snicker. You know, like and it was like it was his voice, and he was just like, "We can turn off whatever you get." You know what
Right.
I mean? Like he's like, well, we can manipulate any whatever. You know, he's. It was more like we can manipulate all your technology. It was almost like it's always sarcastic with him, almost like a little. But I think that's him catering to me. Like I'm a little bit of a sarcastic, and like I like the bullshit. And you know what I mean? It's kind of a good banter. Like it's interesting. And I know you know a lot of people say it's just voices, whatever. I don't give a shit. You know, it's it's a lot of fun to get those answers. Like when those answers come through, like you know, because I was like that was my focus, and I wasn't focusing on what was going on around me. I was wasting my days because I was like getting obsessed about how crappy my film was coming out. And he was like, "Look, man, like just enjoy this. Like it's don't matter if we want you to see it, you're gonna see it. If we don't, we don't. You know, like you're not gonna. Don't matter what you bring."
Yeah. But I think they know what we're up to. I think they know. You know, I believe they read our minds. To be honest with you, because you know what, they know where I live. They know where you live. They give you gifts. They give me gifts at my house. I'm about 2 miles up the road from where this is at. So they come to my yard and put stuff. Now hasn't been maybe for a couple of weeks now. Hasn't been doing anything like that as far as gifts. But even back where I had my stealth camera, I went there one day and I'm checking things out and trying to put golf balls back where little Kevin, he called him the little boy. He's a little Bigfoot. He loves golf balls. I told you that before. And I'm looking at my stealth camera on a tree. I'm looking over there at the bottom of it. There's a stick with it looks like a bone. I still have it home. I still got it in my garage, in fact. And up on a branch that was wedged in between a tree and the bottom of my stealth camera was I don't even know what kind of stone it was. It was black, like almost like an onyx type stone, and it was
Hmm.
about 3 4 inches in diameter, and it was shaped like a heart, and it
Yeah.
was wet. It was wedged between a tree limb and a tree.
That's one of the first gifts they always give is a heart. Yeah, I've noticed that a lot of times. Like I've seen that a lot of times. They give a heart some way somehow. They give a heart up. Not to everybody, but I've heard it a few times, and that's a good thing. Obviously,
Yeah,
obviously. But
absolutely. That's why I'm hoping over here in this new area where I'm at now. I think they like me because I went over tonight and looked at some pictures, and I took some pictures there, and they were right in front of me. They were right in front of me, and there was a family of about three of them there. And I got the pictures of them, and they don't stick around for a long time. You get a picture. If you're lucky to get a picture of them, it's like a hit and run type of deal. And I think they want to know. They want to know who I am. They want to know who you are, and they become friends. They trust you. They trust me, and that's a big thing because as yourself, you want to trust them. They're not going to do anything to you, and I'm the same way. So the trustworthy is built on both parts because I don't want to go there and say, hey, I'm going to have a tree thrown at me or a boulder when I'm on near the cliff of the lake over there. Have something that weighs about 100 pounds being thrown hit me in the head or something. So I mean,
you
I
know,
mean,
you know,
they're- we know they're there. They know that we're there. I don't. I think as long as we um, show them respect, I think we're good.
I agree. I talk about it all the time. I say people say they were attacked, and I'm like, who was that person? Who was it that they attacked? But I tried it out with two different people today because I saw on Facebook, and they were like, I was attacked by a Sasquatch. And I'm like, you're here though, right? And they like, I said, you got attacked. All I said was, you got attacked. How are you here? One guy responded, I didn't say how I was attacked. You know, I've been doing this a long time. They hit my house. They do this. They do that. I said, okay, I don't view that as an attack, but that's where we differ. And, you know, me and him had a good conversation after. The other guy, I don't fucking like you. I don't like the way you're talking to me and this and that. How could you, oh, I wasn't attacked twice. How could you say that? You don't even know me. And blah, blah. I said, I just asked you a question. How were you attacked twice by a Sasquatch, but you're still here talking to us?
Yeah.
Because to me, you're being dramatic. You weren't attacked. You know what I mean? Like, you were roared at, or like you said, they threw a 30-pound boulder at him, but he's still, you know what I mean? Like, I don't. To me, I've had these things happen to me, but I don't view them that way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I always have to look into it more. And the one scenario I remember being really scared of, with they were actually, it was with Bigfoot. It wasn't questionable on it other being another cryptid or anything. It was Sasquatch, a group of them. I was in the
Right.
Pine Barrens and it was getting dark, and they were chasing me out, herding me, tree knocking, herding me out, throwing rocks if I stopped. And I was getting nervous, and I'm backpedaling, I'm tripping over myself, and I'm like, but I'm like still trying to like film, and like a lot's going through my head, but I got a ways to go on the way out.
Right.
It's
Right.
getting dark, and it's getting dark. And I ended up stopping filming or whatever, and I just kind of started moving. Like, I started moving with a purpose. And when I got in my car, I filmed again because they were like, there were a lot of people like that video. There was a bunch of them, like, I was pressing a brake light, and you could see their eyes shine behind the car and stuff. They're like
Yeah.
right at the car. So scary moment. But down the line, I realized what happened. There's dogmen all over that place. They were hurting me out, like, for my safety.
Yeah.
Now, had I not like gone back and really checked into it and really like meditated on it and like checked into it, you know, like really went through lengths to see what really happened there, I could have just took it as, hey, like, I got chased by Sasquatch, and that could have been the end of my story. That could have been it. You know, I got chased by them, and that was that. But I wanted to see what it was about,
Right.
and
Right.
you know, I have a different view on it now. I think they did it for my own safety. Like, Mike, get out of here. You know,
Yeah.
now, not later, not in 5 minutes. Now, you know, go.
Well, I made a little pact with them where they had threatened to kill me. That I told you earlier. I made a pact with them. I said they don't want nobody else back there in this one area, and I said, okay, I won't take anybody back here. But you know, you got to watch my stuff. And I says, I come here. I says, I respect you, and you know, I talk to them just like I'm talking to you, and they understand all that stuff. And I asked them, and this is the truth right here. I said, what are you? What are you? You know what their answer was? They told me they're human.
Mm.
Now that I don't understand. I mean, are they human? Another form of humans?
Yeah, I
They're
don't
very
know. You might get that. See, I know personally, I'm not going to get that answer. Like, I already know where kind of my story goes, and I don't think I'm going to get big picture questions. Like, I think at least big picture questions answered. I think it's going to be whatever they give me,
right.
because they want me to be an ambassador between peoples. I get a lot because they want me to share. Like,
Right.
they give it to me because they want me to put it out. I didn't want this job. I don't want it. I'll be honest with you guys. I didn't want it. I didn't want to be in the eye of the public. I didn't want to be.
Right.
I was kind of asked to be, and I respect him a lot. I respect Bubba a lot, like a brother. Like, I do it for him for the most part.
Yeah.
I enjoy it now, but I still get nervous being up here and doing this kind of stuff, and you know, like, but that's kind of, so you might get that answer, like what they are as far as a human hybrid, a human, like in the past, the missing link, whatever. You might get that factual answer, you know?
Well, it's just going by what they told me. But when they talk, though, I mean, I've had recordings. They're talking to me in English, like we're talking, and people they can't fathom that because I believe this here. You know, clue me if I'm wrong, but um, these shows that are out there, they make these movies, making them look like they're monsters and everything else like that. I
Yeah.
don't, I don't buy that.
Well,
I,
the monster sells. You know what I mean? It's an interesting story.
yeah,
Um, it's they are scary. If you just think about it, like as we were brought up, they're big, giant. You know, they have teeth, they have muscles, they have hair. They're in the dark. Their eyes glow red, something, whatever. Like they're scary.
right.
You know what I mean? So it's easy to put a spin like that on it. Um, I, you know, and I, of course, the monster's popular right now. It's very popular right now. All these channels are selling the monster. I hope it switches soon. I really hope there's some kind of turn of events soon.
Yeah,
For now, I can only tell my positive encounters. I can only continue to show my positive encounters. That's all I can do for now. But I
yeah,
hope there's, and I know you do the same, but like, I hope there's a good spin on this soon. You know, but if there's a way to get attention, fame, fortune, whatever, people manipulate it. You
yeah,
know
oh
how
yeah,
it goes.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I'll let you take this one. Have you ever had strange occurrences in your homes? And Vince said earlier he saw something peeking through your window, and he's not joking. Like it wasn't a joke. He said he saw something peering in your window. So I don't know
Right.
if I don't know if that's happened to you before or not. But
Well, I'll tell you what happened to me. I guess about 2 months ago. I went back to this place. I was supposed to go in the morning to check out my camera and all, and I didn't. I went at nighttime. It was probably around 6:30 around here, starting to get dark, and there was nobody back there. And prior to that, back in February, I had taken a picture of that little shelter. Remember that shelter I had that I
yeah,
found?
yes,
Okay. Inside there, I took a picture, and to me, it looked like a baby Bigfoot. Okay, but I'm looking at it. I said, well, it looks to me that it might be, but it had like a brindle type coat on it, and I said, well, I don't know. It kind of doesn't. Then it doesn't look like it. It looks like another type of an animal. But anyway, getting back to where I went back here at nighttime, I pull up my truck and I'm walking, and here comes this dog running after me and growling. It was a pit bull. Came out of nowhere.
yeah,
So I had a club with me. I always carry a club, or I got a machete I use. It's like 2 foot long, just to protect myself. Not so much. I'm not worried about the Bigfoots. There's a lot of coyotes back here where I go, but
mm.
you never know what's going to happen back here. There's other things back here as well.
Oh yeah, I don't carry a weapon, but
Yeah,
you
but
know,
you got
I carry little shit like mace or whatever. Like I carry it for people. You know what I mean? But we don't have coyotes, wolves, bears. We don't have any. The biggest thing we have is a whitetail. So I'm very ticks are the worst thing I deal with. You know, so I'm lucky in that aspect.
yeah,
But
but
yeah,
back
coyotes are nothing to mess with. I'm assuming.
they're huge, and so I let it go. I went about 20 minutes later. I checked my camera stuff. It came back. It was still sitting there, waiting for me. I said, "Well, boy, this dog, but it was growling and wouldn't get near me." So, to make a long story short, I ended up taking it home. About 3 days later, I'm upstairs and I hear the dog barking on the back. I have it on the back porch because I have other dogs. I didn't want to get used to, for that dog to attack my dogs. So I walk down at nighttime. I got a backyard light that goes on. Anything that walks by, it sets it off. I mean, the whole yard lights up. So on my back porch, I have it all closed in. And on the door coming in, I'm looking out my porch door from the washroom. I see something about maybe, I don't know, 5 foot tall. All you see was head and shoulders. You couldn't see anything else.
Mm.
And I'm saying, what the heck is this? So I went to the bathroom, looked out back, I came back, it was gone. A couple of days later, wasn't even 2 days later, that's when they gave me the gifts that were back there that I had made a video have that I have on there. But I'm thinking now, is this dog Well, this is crazy. Is this dog a gift that was given to me? Because
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm just, that could be far fetched. I'm just saying, but people probably
No,
laugh.
I mean,
Dude,
you know, they there's a lot of stuff that can be far fetched, but like I don't know, that might be hard to read. You know what I mean? If a dog was a gift,
yeah, yeah,
but like when you're walking, you're walking through the trails. Now there's millions of whatever, thousands, millions, whatever, sticks, rocks. When there's a rock that's a gift or a stick, whatever that's a gift,
right.
like you know that it's for you. And there's no way that you can really put that into words. Like I'm sure you could try, but like there's no way to tell people how you know. And people used to tell me that too in the beginning. Oh, when you know, I think Scotty B was one of them. He was like, "Oh, when you know, you'll know. You'll know when it's for you." And I was like, "What does that mean? What kind of what kind of Mr. Miyagi? Like like oh, when you know, you know. Like okay." And like
You know why? Look at that. I went back to look at that picture again. That brindle uh, baby Bigfoot that I thought was in that shelter. Well, guess what color this pit bull is? It's brindle.
that's cool.
Yeah. So that's kind of I'm saying to myself. I told my sister that. She said, "You're nuts." I said, "Well," she didn't want me to go back here. She says, You're old. Something could happen to you. How are we supposed to find you? They can take you away and this and that." I said, "You know what? I'm going to keep going and keep going. If they're going to come and get me, well, then I'll find out what they're about. You know, I love what I do. I'm sure you do as well. And what makes me feel is like it's a new frontier. It's like a new world, and
Yeah, it is.
you're dealing with a creature that they call themselves humans. I want to find everything that I can about them. If I can sit down and have an interview with one day, sitting on a stump or something, that's what I want to do. Will they
No,
do
if
that?
you if you
Probably
if you
not, but
really if you really want to sit with a Sasquatch, it'll happen. Like it'll happen for you. They'll do it for you. I mean, there's a lot that I've done that I haven't put out yet. Um, it's hard to explain why. It's just hard to explain why.
right,
I just feel like there's a time for it, and like I haven't felt that time yet. Because I've like I don't know. Like you ever I've had something happen and then like tried to hint at it or like
right.
put out a little like kind of appetizer to it and like it goes nowhere. And that kind of like pulls me back from doing the rest, um like and it's hard when it's things like that, like sitting on a log with a Sasquatch. Like you're saying now, like I mean, I've done this and how do you explain that to people? Even with the photo, how do you explain this to people? It's not it's not an easy task. It's not.
It, it, it's not because people aren't going to believe what you do or what you say or what you see or what you hear because they're not there. They're not in that surrounding, getting that getting that feeling that you're being watched by 1,000 eyes. You know what I'm saying? And and
Well,
and knowing and knowing that they're allowing you into their area. And I believe this too, Mike. Again, when these trees are broken down, I believe that's marking their territories. I
yeah,
truly believe.
that's some of it. Yeah, I mean, they snap it. The reason it's snapped or it's bent and whatever, they love nature. They're keeping it alive. If it's snapped, it's still attached, so it's not gonna die. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like the leaves stay green everywhere else except where they snapped, so that those turn brown. So they use it as a blind because they're hiding it. You know what I mean? So like, but they snap it and it touches the next one. Everything touches. Like they like connectivity and but like they bend it because it doesn't die. If they rip it out, or they snap it off completely, now it's dead. You know what I mean? So they preserve life. Like they're very conscious of that. Um,
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
some of it could be like a marker and territory and stuff. Like it could just be like hunters do. Like you were a hunter, right? Like you snap twigs where you go in. Like so you went this way, you went that way. Like you follow your way back, and
Right. Right.
you know. I forgot what I was gonna say. Um,
I
yeah.
know
So anyway,
last.
like as far as like a Bigfoot coming up to you, like a lot of people I think have a lot of trouble with that because they think of it like the physical, like it has to be this 10-foot thing that walks through the woods. You'd hear it coming. It would walk up to you. You'd know it. It would breathe. It would smell. It would this. It would that. From all the stories, it's not the case. It moves with a swiftness. It doesn't even. I shut my eyes on these occasions when I'm trying to get them to come into me. When I'm trying to get them to come, really, I shut my eyes. I use Reiki, which is like kind of like meditation, but it's a little
Right.
different.
Yeah.
I put a Sasquatch spin on it. Like I've customized the whole thing for this, but it's not like that. It's literally like it's not like that. And the photos show different, but it's not
Yeah.
like that. It's like a spirit walk, like moves in with you.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, but
Especially like if you go into a new area, like I was at that other area for like 5 months, and I mean, I knew who they were. I talked to them, had them record, and I seen them. Now I can't go back, and I told them that. I said, look, I said the state's shutting you down. Nobody can come back here until September 15th, I believe. And I told them that, and they weren't too keen on that. Yeah, but their answer was like, okay, we'll see you then. So I just told them, I said, nobody's gonna come back over here, and you'll be fine. So now with the other ones, where I'm at now, I'm thinking that maybe because it's really not that far from that area. I'm thinking maybe they let them know to who I was, and they're just like it's okay with them now for me to be taking pictures of them in the sense that I don't feel like like my ears are being twitched and everything else when I go back because you know as well as I do. If you feel anything that's like a bad entity around, you can tell the difference of it. You got that scare that goes right through you, and and
mm,
and some even during the daytime, you're walking, and then I would stop, especially around a pond area, and I'm looking around just like not I'll shut my eye, but I just kind of just like look around very easy and looking around trying to hear everything just precisely, and you can hear stuff walking, and you can hear them walking, and I mean actually loud, just like if you and I are walking through crunchy leaves, and I'm looking around, there's nothing there.
that's the trip, right?
Did you ever have that before?
Of course, yeah. But I mean, there's a veil there. Like people call it a veil. Like so, and this is the best way I could put it because I never see people explain it properly. They just say cloaked. Oh, it was cloaked. There's a veil there for the most part. It's like a parallel to us. This isn't necessary for you, Greg. I'm just trying to explain because I hear this question all the time. Um, like a double-sided mirror. Like when you see like the shows, the cops are in the one room and the guys they're sitting in the interrogation room. They could see him, but he can't see them. Same concept. We can't see them. They could see us, clear as day. But picture that double-sided mirror, whatever is or one-sided, whatever it's called, is more like a cellophane, and you could kind of, you know, poke your face in through it a little bit and kind of lean through. Now you could even kind of tear it open if you wanted to and peek half of you out, and I could see kind of half of you. And if you wanted to, you could kind of close it back up and peel right back in.
Right.
Disappear, appear, see half a face, see an eye, see this. These things aren't by chance.
Yeah.
Like I know it's a lot to grasp and grab onto, but I don't know. I never see it really explained well, and I've been looking for the past couple of days for like a good way to explain this, and um, that's the best I can come up with for now. So,
Did you ever get the feeling like you're walking and you everything's deathly quiet and everything around you, the vegetation is dead, and you're just like I mean, you can hear a pin drop. You're like, where am I? Did you ever feel like you walked into another dimension while you're out in the woods, and then you turned around, came back out of it? You ever get that
absolutely, absolutely, yeah, of
Yeah.
course, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's wild because you know what? My sister even said, she says, suppose you go into something like that and you keep walking and you can't get back out of it. What's going to happen? How are we going to know where you're at? Uh,
You know when things go dead silent, like just no, you don't hear anything at all. Period. Like that's pretty much like I call it like man, it's like there used to be this movie called like Biodome, and that's a bad way to put it, but it's almost like you go in like this like force field, if you will. Um, I think they just kind of can block everything out for you, like so you can have kind of an experience. Because I've been in a public park and this has happened.
Right.
I'm like people are around me walking dogs, fishing, this, that, the other thing. Everything goes silent, but I'm watching these people still do everything under the sun like they were doing. And the first time I realized it was this lady was walking towards me, and it was like a little bit of land between these two like water masses. And
Right.
she's walking, and the dog's little dog, and she's an older woman. So I'm like, oh, maybe she just didn't notice me. I don't want to scare her because she's like oblivious, it seems. So I'm kind of waving, and the dog keeps looking at me right in the eyes. And I'm like, I said something. I don't remember what now, but I said something. And I'm looking now. I'm looking back at the Sasquatch, and I'm looking back at the lady and the dog, and I'm looking back at the Sasquatch in the tree line, and I'm like, and all of a sudden, oh no, this is when I spoke. I apologize. So this is when I spoke. I said, "Excuse me, ma'am," and it was like the world came back, and like she jumped out of her skin. This lady. No, I mean she had looked at me a couple times, but like didn't see me because like I don't know, like I don't know what to chalk this up to exactly. But that's when I started to notice they put us in this little kind of like bubble almost, like you know what I mean? Like maybe we were in the veil. Like I don't know. Like I don't know everything. I just can tell you how it went down, and then
Right. Right. Right.
we could hash it out later because there's no answer to everything. Like that's why I love when they give me an answer. When the Sasquatch physical Bubba gives me a physical answer, because I'm like, oh, okay, good. Like I could accept this. It's not a guessing game.
Well, I'll tell you what happened to me about 5, 6 years ago. I'm walking this one area by one of the main rivers that goes through our state, and in the woods there, I'm just walking, and I got to this area like I just described to you, like everything, all the vegetation prior to that was green and beautiful. I got into this one area, it was eerie, deathly quiet, and everything was dead. The trees were dead, everything. So I'm walking along, and I look and I see it looked like somebody killed a deer and took the intestines out and put a pile of it near this tree. So I said, well, it's not hunting season now, right? So I'm looking, and there's no carcass of a deer or anything like that. All I see is these intestines that were there. So I go over to it. I got a stick. I'm poking it, and the thing's hard as a rock. What the heck is this? So I went over there and I hit it, and it was like porcelain, like it was like porcelain. I got pictures. What I'll do is I'll put on. I'll show you one day with that. And I took it home, and you can see the striations of the muscles of the intestines, everything else is piled up. Now, because I used to hunt, you kill a deer, you take the intestines out, you leave it there, the foxes eat it, and that's it, right? And this was like porcelain. You can hit it like that, and you can hear a ring like porcelain. So what the heck is this here? Is this from outer space? Just came down and landed here? What was it? So me, I didn't. I washed it up. I cleaned it up a little bit, and I put it in my garage. I would not dare take it in my house. And something's in my mind saying, "Don't take it. Put it back."
Oh yeah, that happens
So,
sometimes.
huh?
Yeah, that happens to me sometimes.
Yeah. So what I done, I got a 55-gallon drum plastic bag, and I put it in there, wrapped it up, dug a hole in one of the mounds back there, and put it in the ground. And to this day, I haven't even decided to dig that up and go look for it anymore. But this was like pretty wild, man. And I got pictures I'll show you. Uh, Again, you know what? It was like a deathly area. Nothing was moving. There was no breeze. There was nothing.
Yeah.
And I went back the next day, uh, to look for anything else back there. And the tree that it was near, couldn't find it. I couldn't find it. I'm looking all over. I'm going to the area. There's nothing there. It's like I walked into another time zone. It kind of, it
Hmm.
kind of, yeah, it kind of like messed with my mind a little bit. So I said, guess what? I'm out of here. Turned around, went back. Haven't been back ever since.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's hard to. So like that's why I started to make sure things were for me and stuff that I brought back. Because there's so much out there. There's so much out there. You don't know what you're grabbing. Like I had
But
problems with Dogman because I don't know exactly what I did to them. I don't know, but um, yeah, it could have been I took something that was theirs on accident and brought it to the house, and that's why they kept coming here and stuff. But that's a long story that I haven't told yet. Um, but someone asked Toby. Toby says, "How long did it take to earn their trust? Seeing them." Um, like for me, it might have been they might have been watching me my whole life for the most part, but I consciously for me, I know that it took me about 5, 6 years to get in with Bubba, like at least consciously. That's for me. I don't know about you.
right, well, about 5 or 6 not years, but months to get that same thing. And you know, um, like I said, when you're out there and it's just you, I go by myself all the time, and you think when you go out there, you know, and when you're driving there, what's going to happen? What can happen? What's going to be there? You know, who's going to be there? You know, what do I got to do today? You know, I can't run like I used to 20 years ago. You know, uh, but you get to know them, and like I said before, I would love to sit on a stump, give them some apples, bring the kids out, put some cameras up, get a video, and get an audio and a recorder, and just talk to them. You know,
I'll send
not
you some. I'll send you some stuff
off,
tomorrow.
huh? That'd be great.
I'm gonna send you some stuff tomorrow. It'll motivate you. It'll motivate you.
But I think if you know stuff, that you think stuff, they know what you're thinking anyway. So
Yeah,
if you're to take pictures, and here goes with this over here too. We got a
yeah.
bounty on these Bigfoot, Sasquatch. They got a bounty for $1 million to bring proof, or science has to have a body to
Well,
work
that's
on
just it. That
this, right?
that's just it though. Like there's a lot of people that from jump they jump into it and they want to prove that it exists.
Right,
That's their mission. They want to prove that it exists. They look for evidence. I don't have a cast. I've found footprints. There was one in my flower bed. You know what I mean? Like
right,
I I don't know how. I have no idea how they did that damn thing. It was in the front yard. I don't know how it got like, but it's a Sasquatch. So it's a Sasquatch print right in the front yard. I didn't cast. I don't have a cast yet. Like I don't know. Like I don't like search for proof necessarily, but that's not me. You know what I mean? Like it it's never gonna be easy to prove to anybody. Um, so you might as well get as many good people on board as you can get, you know, for now, and just enjoy it. Um,
right.
I
It's a gift. It's a gift that they're giving both you and I and everybody else who does this, who believes like we do on that. It's a gift that they're given to intermingle with us. You know, and they're letting us know things.
yeah,
Uh,
you
know,
miss you
right?
miss a lot. You miss a lot when you don't try to connect with them. When you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel bad for people who miss out on that part. I really do. Like that's the best part. It really is. That's the best part. Like that like warm feeling when they come around and stuff. And I hear a lot. There's so much negativity out there that like it starts
yeah.
to trickle into my brain. Not when I'm out there, but like I start to feel outnumbered. I'm like, what is going on out here? You know what I mean? And I don't know. You know what I'm talking about.
I truly believe this year they're very protective of their family, especially their children. And if anybody, and I really believe that they read our minds before we leave the house to go there. They know what we're up to. And if anybody was to go and try to shoot one of the babies, the mother or anybody in their family, I would bet my house on it that they would never make it out of that woods. They would never be found again. I truly believe that.
I agree. That's why I get kind of upset when people put a certain a certain spin on it. You know what I mean? Like, Carrie Arnold from Bigfoot Odyssey. He had an encounter. Like, he doesn't want to go back in the woods, but like his encounter to him was kind of negative. But he doesn't say he was attacked. Now, like he this Bigfoot like kind of was looking at him negatively, like was kind of being forceful with him, etc., etc. He reached for his gun, he like growled at him, whatever. But like I hear the same story from another person, and this is where interpretation comes into play.
Right.
It now that same exact type of encounter from someone else is could be so much worse and embellished and dragged out, and it's not the facts anymore. It's you know what I mean. And it's other times I think it could be misidentification. Like Kerry again, he laid eyes on the Sasquatch. Some people don't lay eyes on it. You know what I mean? Like they just something hairy, something came, something. There's a lot of things out there.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. It's just I'm not trying to take away from people who might have a bad encounter. There could be negative Sasquatch out there. I don't know. I've just never been a part of that. So it's hard for me. I don't know about you. If you've ever had any bad encounters with them other than the audio?
Yeah, so I'm saying, and I was scared to go back to probably 3 or 4 days. But I said, you know what? I have to go back. This is my research. I have to go back to find out why. And they didn't trust me because they figured I was out to harm them. And after I brought them food, and I even brought the toys, I brought the golf balls for the little guys and the kids and all, and they took them, they played with them, and then then they put it back with a beam of light and then took it back again. So they take the stuff that I got. Now, what I done at this new place, I put two wiffle balls out right where I had my audio last Sunday for like 15 hours. In fact, I'm still going over the audio recordings, 15 hours worth of audio.
Oh, it takes forever.
It's forever. You're right.
Takes
Because I'm
forever.
supposed to, so my days are, an hour here, an hour there.
Yeah.
But some interesting stuff is being said that all night long. Whoever it was talking back here, and there was sounds back here as well. And I'll get to that another time. But when I get to recordings that can be heard very clear, I will, you'll hear them. But there's a lot of stuff out there. I mean, and if people believe the way they do, I can't. I'm not out to change anybody's mind. I go by what is being shown to me, and what I've seen in front of me. Took a picture, then it's not there anymore. One jumping out of a tree, and I try to get the recorder on there. It hit the ground, disappeared, and I went over there. There was a footprint, one footprint, one. And a couple of days later, it snowed. Coming down the hill, there was 7 footprints. 7. It didn't start anywhere. They were just there, came down the hill, and they just ended, and there was nothing else. I look in the tree.
But then again, they could. That could be a place that they go under. That could be a place they go up. That could be a place where they step into the veil. You know what I mean? Like there's so many different. Did they light travel? Did they turn into an orb and float away? You know what I mean? Like
I know.
There's a bag of tricks here. And listen, I get it. I get why. Like you have the flesh and blood people who will say it's a flesh and blood being and that's it. And like paranormal side's like a cop out, but I it's not. It's harder. It's a lot harder to figure this shit out this way. It doesn't make anything easier to think this way and to know these things. But
well, I'll keep doing what I'm doing because I want to learn about them. Who knows? One day maybe I'll have a cookout. They can come over and sit out back and have a cookout if they want. I'm just saying. I'm only messing with you. Well, who knows? I mean, if they're telling me they're human, what kind of human are they? I mean, they talk English like we do. They're very intelligent. They know what's happening. So quite possibly they are, but they don't look like us,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know that, like, so there's a thing called a watcher, and they're not a regular Sasquatch. Like Bubba's Bubba's a watcher, and he's got a little more capabilities than
Right.
the average Joe. You know what I mean? It seems like watcher turned into like a lot of people just say a watcher is the one that like looks is a lookout. That's not what
Right.
a watcher is. That's a like a lookout. A watcher is basically like in between a Sasquatch and a guardian angel, if you will, like somewhere in between there. And they it's like an earth angel. That's the best way I could put it. Like this guy protects me on all levels. Like I can't put it any other way except to say he's like a guardian earth angel, if you will.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
he's a dominant one, right?
he's not the alpha of his family. He's got his own little family, which he's I guess an alpha, but he's not like the he's got a lot above him. Like I don't know them, but he's got a lot above him. Um, I don't think I've ever met any of his elders.
Like a guardian type of a deal, right?
Yeah, well, he's kind of tasked to me, if that makes sense. Like he's my teacher. That's the best way to put it. Like he takes me through grades. You know what I mean? Like here, this is what you're gonna learn, and kind of go through that, and then you don't really get anything else. Like until I get that right, I don't really get anything else. You know, I asked a question, and it took me months to get my answer right, but he wouldn't tell me anything else. Like we were stuck on that until I got it right. It was about what do they eat, and I was just missing it. I was just missing the message. You know what I mean? He wasn't handing it to me. He was making me work for it, but I was missing it. Like
Right.
it was plain as day, but I kept missing the point. I don't ever want to see a Bigfoot. No way. Yeah, I get it. I, you know, a lot of you guys know, like when I first saw Bubba, it was the first one I saw, full on. And, my reaction was, I don't want to see you. I didn't want to see him. And I was out there looking for him, and I didn't want to see him. I threw myself on the ground, fetal position, shaking, screaming. I was a disaster. Yeah. And I was a soldier once upon a time. So, I mean, I don't blame anybody for not wanting to see this. Like I get it, but
Right.
it's a beautiful thing. I guess I'm assuming that they're in a positive way. It's a positive encounter. I think it's a beautiful thing. So,
Right. Oh.
feel like the increase in cryptids is part of our overall awakening to our higher consciousness. Well, you might be there. You know what I mean? Not everyone's. You're right, but not everyone's on that plateau. I, I I hope there's a way that they could level everyone up. You know what I mean? Like to a higher consciousness. For me, I had to get broken down to nothing. Like I had a lot of problems with like PTSD and addiction. I was basically at like ground level. Like I broke myself all the way down to like rebuild up. And that was kind of when Bubba swooped in and was like, hey, like clean slate. Now's your time. Perfect timing. We've been waiting for you, kind of thing. Like it was like just all clicked right then and there for me.
Here's a question for you. Did you ever use any type of a music for them to hear, to play?
Yeah. I used to.
How did they respond to that?
Depends where, like, and what I'm doing. Like, there's one spot up not far from me. I almost said it. That was screwed me up bad saying that in public. But I sit there and there's these pine trees everywhere, and like it's the sun hits this one open little spot, but there's pine trees all there blocking out everything, whatever, and they're filled in this type of day, like they're just filled up there. I don't know if they're tree Sasquatch or whatever. They tend to be over there. I started to realize this. So I was going over that way. I kept going that way, kept going that way. Every morning, going right towards there. So one day I said, I brought like a dozen bagels, and I laid them out in a circle. And I sat down in the middle of that circle and I started playing music and um, different researchers and stuff and saying like, oh look guys, like like videos of Sasquatch. I'm like, look guys, like aiming it up at the trees. I'm like, look, this is you guys in like Oregon and this is you guys in California. Like and but it everything from that day playing music. I played music for like 8 hours till my phone died. And from there that place has been wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah. I wanted to try that back over there to see if and have the audio recorder in case they're around. They do speak or say anything. That's what my new thing I was going to try to do. That's why I'm asking you if you ever tried it. That's cool.
Yeah,
I'm
sometimes it could seem like I get zero response. Like it almost seems like nothing happened, or like just you ever get those days where you just go out and you get back home and you're like, like it was almost like you just took a walk, like nothing happened really. Sometimes I've played music and had that feeling, like it just like it wasn't
right.
It wasn't what they wanted, but you feel it out. I can't see it going. I can't see it doing anything wrong, any hurt.
Yeah.
Uh, Chuck, what's up, Chuck? Good to see you, brother. I have only Sasquatch theory. Good to see you, bro. Sorry, I saw you slide in. I kind of salute you guys as you come in. Sorry if we're talking and I don't want to just cut somebody off, so nothing personal. Appreciate you all for being here. There's a lot of people here tonight. I appreciate it. We'll hang out another like 5 minutes. If you guys got a question, just shoot it through. I'll try and get you in. I've had only good experiences. They have been kind to me. I believe they are good. Just some bad seeds in some groups throughout the world. I agree, bro. I agree.
All right. We got here. Let me see.
Some of them can jump really far.
Let me see here. Where the many people were all making up stories.
Name one phenomenon where that many people were making up stories.
There was a Bigfoot. They said they got back in 1850 up in British Columbia, I guess it was. That these I just read it tonight. In fact, I put on a thing. And they said that they caught this. They put it in a cage or something like that, and these railroad guys, and it mysteriously disappeared from the cage. And that turned out to be a hoax.
Oh yeah. Oh, is that what you mean? Like, what's a bullshit story? Like, what's a hoax? Oh man, I could ramble off a bunch, and I don't know.
Did I ever see areas that they plant?
Yeah, so Scotty B is into planting. He's my resident plant rock guy. He's the best. He's been here since I was here for like day one. He was the one who pointed out to me like they replant often. They move things around. They replant things in different spots. They plant.
You talking about trees and stuff like that?
Yeah, like have you ever seen them like move plants or put something in the plant something, or I don't know.
Go back or it's there, right?
Like I've seen them take stuff out. Like they take the deer antler. And you know how the deer antler has like a hook, so like and as far as plants go and the roots go down, they like stick that down the side of it, and it kind of hooks underneath, and they pull it up, and it keeps all the roots intact. And so I don't know. I think that's what he's asking anyway.
Right.
Some of them can jump far, yes, very, very, very far. There's so much kept from citizens that has recently come to light that almost nothing surprises me anymore. It's outstanding. Talked about violent Bigfoot who was attacking a lady. I think his name was Brutus, he said. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. People ask me about him all the time. I really don't know. I've asked him questions personally. He never answers me, so I don't We'll see. Maybe I'll get in touch with him one day.
I mean, it could be. Who knows? Because there's good and bad people too.
Yeah, I'm not saying one way or another. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, the guy has really good stuff. So it's either it's when you have good stuff, when you put. I've seen it happen. It happens to me all the time. You guys know me, so you're probably like, "That's bullshit. Why would I even question you?" Happens all the time. All the
Right.
time. That's
Right.
bullshit. Oh, that's fake. Oh, if this is what's here, I don't want to be like. I'm telling you, it's wild. It's wild. If you get something good, it's got to be a fake, right? It's got to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's what it is. It's just the world. Got to roll with it. I
Yeah.
personally believe we are far beyond needing to prove the existence of greed. Just so many folks needing to catch up, so to speak. Yeah, yeah. There's so many levels to this that there's so many levels to it. Um, I think a lot of the negative stuff that's portrayed on them is put out there on purpose. If the government's hiding something, like why they would want to push forward the fact that they're scary, they're bad, they're evil, they attack, they do this, they do that. They'd want to keep you away from them. They'd
Yeah.
push that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How do we know what email is a real email? How do we know there's a real person behind it? How do we know what's behind that account? How do we know what's behind it? Unless we know who's coming from. This is my problem with a lot that's going. But it's not a big deal. It is what it is. It'll all work itself out. And I not
Yeah.
only do I have faith in that, I know it will. I know it's going to work out.
Yeah. Don C. I take Bigfoot over people too.
Go for it. Go for it. You could take it. So I don't know if I had an encounter. If I did when I was younger, it was definitely on the woo side of Bigfoot. Encounter or not, I'd take Bigfoot over people any day. Yeah, you know, a lot of the people who are into Bigfoot, uh, they tend to have seem like they always were missing something in life, or like looking for something more, or didn't quite fit in, or whatever the case. But there's something there that kind of just didn't fit right. And then that Sasquatch topic, community, whatever research, it kind of like locks everything into place. I've seen it so many times, and that was kind of something that really, um, I was at a big loss for in every which way. I was at a loss until that kind of came and gave me reason, like a lot of purpose, and I love it now. It's a good time. It's really it's great for me. I can hang my hat comfortably on the veteran thing, but I don't care about that necessarily. I love what I do right now. I didn't love the military. I didn't love what I did before. I love this. I love what I do now.
Yeah.
What's up, brother? BX. Salute from the Bronx. I'm still looking for that BX Sasquatch. Um, it's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be tough. But you work your way over here and get a train. Get a train to anywhere over here. We'll talk if you want. But you get a train out here, and we'll work on your site. All right. Well, or the connection with Dogman and Grays. I might have missed something. What are your thoughts on the special stones they come out with? Um, so I don't know exactly where you're going. Um, as far as the white stones go, I could tell you about this. The white clear kind of rocks or whatever that we always find, and I say they're kind of like breadcrumbs. And I follow them in a trail. You could pick them up and you'll see they're not. dirty. Like they just been put there recently. They're not like pressed in. They're fresh. They've been there from today or the day before. Most likely they're put there that day, that morning, and then it'll probably be in the sunlight because at some point because it soaks up the sun. So now that's kind of like on a trail. Now that Sasquatch goes on that trail, right? Now at night they glow, like they glow, and they're not in the ground. They're on top of the ground. You can see them visibly. Now at night they're white and they glow. They glow pretty well in the dark. If you could literally follow that trail, it's almost like putting natural glow sticks on the ground. It's a pretty amazing thing. And, people say, oh, they just took off. Like they didn't have to look. They didn't even look. I would imagine they follow those glowing rocks like right through. They got the trail pathed out. And you would never know. As a person, you would never see it. Like you might not even go that direction, but they know.
Right.
They know what's up. So I don't know. Those are one thing I know why they use those stones. I don't know. That might help. If I don't know. I'm trying to answer a question, but I'm sorry. I heard that too. Mount St. Helens. Sasquatch means evolution is bullcrap. Same with the giants. Uh, uh, um, but it's got to be like us, some good, some bad. Yes, probably so. I mean, you're right. It has to be. I mean, it has to be. There's no way like everyone, like there's so many people out there that have bad encounters, and I'm not writing off everyone. I'm not trying to do that at all. I do believe, like when it's somebody telling me to my face, like, oh, I believe you. I totally believe you. I know a guy who has, I'm not gonna say, I won't speak on him, but it's terrible, terrible scenarios, terrible shit going on. Talk to him on a regular. I can't relate, but I can be there for him. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, there's some good, some bad. I would imagine. I don't know how it works, honestly.
Yeah.
I also believe I'll listen to LAB and Manalite rather than get scared out of the woods. God's child. God bless, brother. You too, God's child. Mike, have you or Greg seen Thinker Thunker's probably version of the 4 huge Bigfoot on camera at Yellowstone stalking the buffaloes? You want to take that one? Have you ever seen it?
I've never seen that.
Yeah, I've seen it. I don't know if I saw Thinker Thunkers, but I know what he does, and I think that's cool. I like the way he breaks it down. I've said it before. He doesn't do too much, and he doesn't do too little. So I don't remember. I thought it was cool when I saw it, but that's going back a long way. You know what I mean? Montauk is Strange. Go check this guy's channel out, please, guys. And East Coast Sasquatch, please go check. They both have brand new channels. They need the subscriptions. Obviously, go to Manalite. He's going to be on the come up. He's got a lot going on. If you want some good boots on the ground material, it's the place to go.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, I put the link in the description. So if you want, right when it's on, I mean, it's easy if you type it in. It's not one of those tricky channels. It goes right to it. But the link's in the description as well. So, and I finally got a PayPal, guys. I know you guys have been on my ass forever about this, and I've denied, but I finally did one. It's in the description too. Don't feel obligated, but if you want to support the channel, it's there. Thank you. Either way. Quartz pebbles. Quartz pebbles glow like that. That's amazing. Yes, that's basically what they are. They're like the white quartz. Like they have like the here it is. So this one isn't even really that white, but this one was glowing like crazy. And it's because of what's inside, probably the quartz or whatever. But there's a video like I think it ended up being a short, but this one was like glowing like crazy, like nuts. This one's very special to me. I love the rock element. The pictures you've shared, it's obvious they're special, glowing, very cool. Yes, agreed. Don C. I did. All right, well, it looks like we're out of questions and everything. What one knows, they all know. What do you think about that? You agree with that?
Oh, that's interesting. Well, one knows they all know.
Like
So
when one
about
Sasquatch knows you, they all know you.
yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I do too. I do too.
They're
I,
all, especially in one area, they're like a big family there. So it's just like, you know, you say something to your aunt over here, and next day your grandmother knows and everybody else knows. So they communicate amongst themselves. Especially I'm
well,
a I
my
can say it. But
my buddy Sean talks about it. He calls it being tagged. He says they tagged you, and that's actually like the way I believe it happens is I like they physically touch you. You know what I mean? Like I think they physically touch you, and then that's how they all know you. Like one way or another, I don't know how that works, but I think they put a physical hand on you, and whether we're aware of it or not, I think they do, and that's how they know. They all know you. Another way is Bubba gave me a deer antler a while back, and it protects me when I go out. Like it's almost like the only way I could do it is kind of like say it's like a uniform or like a flag or like even like a gang bandana almost. Like it's like the antler is a representative of him. Like he's always there with me. It's almost
right,
like they know I'm with somebody.
right.
Like they know I'm okay. They know like I'm protected like in certain aspects, and
Yeah.
it reigns true. You know, I won't get into how, but it's proven itself reliable. Okay, let's see if I can. Oh, all right, let's see. Like getting good at this whole internet thing stuff, PayPal, sharing links. You're right. You're right. That's a huge improvement. That's a huge improvement for me to successfully put links in the chat. And I don't even usually use the description. So I mean, I'm impressed with me too. Thank you, Don. Oh, well, two of you guys think so. Thanks, guys. Great show tonight, Mike. Man of light. Have a great night, everyone. Toby, you're the man, bro. Thank you. Montauk is strange. The
Enjoyed it.
way
Enjoyed it.
the way the trees all touch each other reminds me of a mushroom mycelium network, like the internet of nature. Yeah, so it's kind of like conduit. Like it all connects. It's a free flowing energy. Um, yes, you're absolutely right. Yeah, you're not. Well, I'm gonna see you soon, Brian. I think, right? We're gonna one way or another we'll get together. Whether it's we should get together before we go to Montauk, but yeah, yeah, I'll reach out to you soon, bro. You're not wrong about a lot of things. Wise man. So anyway, any last words, brother? Greg,
What's that?
is there any last words you want to say? Anything before we go, or I'm gonna get off soon. So if you can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're breaking up.
Oh, all right. I was saying we're gonna get off. I'm gonna get off now. So I said if you want to say anything before we go.
I appreciate you asked me to be on the show tonight. I really enjoyed it. And if people want to ask questions, they keep asking questions. I hope we answered something for everybody tonight as well. Um, this is what I do. This is what Mike does, and we're boots on the ground people. and just try to bring in the truth about what Bigfoot truly is and how they interact with man. Uh, as long as God willing, I'm able to do it. I can still go out there, 3, 4, 5 times, sometimes a week to do what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to find out things. I'm going to bring it to everybody to understand what they truly are, and that's about it. And I really appreciate the time, Mike, for having me on tonight.
Absolutely, bro. No, I appreciate you being here. I know I tried for quite a while, and I dropped the ball on so many things when it comes to this. So I apologize. So I'm always running and gunning too. I get caught up in the field more than this, and then I get sidetracked. But I appreciate your time. Um, and thank you for being here with us, bro.
You're more than welcome. Thank
All right,
you,
I'll catch up with you soon.
bro. Yeah, bye.
All right, brother.
Bye.
So, all right, guys. So that was a lot of fun. He's a really great guy. He has some Facebook pages too. I think he has a Facebook page or two. Um, Maybe he has one group, I think. But anyway, I'll ask him if he wants me to add that. If he wants me to add that to the link, and you guys are on Facebook, you can go to his group there too. But definitely go to Manolite, subscribe. Um, he's uh, he's right over in Jersey. I don't know if you mentioned that, but he's right over in Jersey, so he's pretty local. So we'll be doing some joint stuff soon too. So um, I appreciate you guys. Oh, Donna, it's all good. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate every last one of you guys. There was a lot of people here tonight. I'm sure some of you guys were from Greg's channel, and I appreciate you guys for coming by. Because I don't think we've ever hit like 60. That was a lot. Um, I don't know. I appreciate every last one of you. You know that. Um, as always, thank you, thank you, thank you. Rob, I don't know where Rob is tonight, but Rob, um, we're gonna be together tomorrow again. I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna say where we're going because you know how that goes. But we'll have some more footage for you tomorrow, guys. Thank you so much. Really, I appreciate every last one of you. I know I keep repeating myself, but I get dizzy. Bye, guys. Thank you.